I'd like to share with you another paradigm of medical miracles from the Gedolei Ador. I refer to Hagoyin Tzaddik Rav Segal, who apparently Rav David Kohen said that he has the koach of bracha in the world today. He has a tremendous power to give brachas to people that are fulfilled. And one time, when I was in one of my altruistic moods, my wife had fallen down a number of times. I said, you know what? If I could take this on myself, I would. And lo and behold, in the next period of time, I had 6 major leg injuries. I broke my ankle. What else? I was building a sukkah, the ladder collapsed. I broke a bone in my foot, etc., etc. 6 major foot injuries after that declaration of altruism. And I went to Rav Segal and I told him what happened. And I asked him, does the Rav think that it's connected to what I said? He said, I don't think that it's connected to what he said. He said, I know it's connected to what he said. Right? This is the power that speech has. It creates reality in the world. Right? It creates reality in the world. So I asked the Rav, so am I stuck for the rest of my life? Am I stuck for the rest of my life having to have these serious leg injuries as a result of the statement that I made, one altruistic statement that has to ruin the rest of my life? So said Rav Segal, no. He said, there is an answer. I said, what should I do? He said, get up in front of a tzibor and say, I no longer accept upon myself these yisurim, and I don't want to go back as wife. And since then, Baruch Hashem, things have been more or less stable in that area. And this is the tremendous power that our speech has. Tremendous, tremendous power. It's very easy for us to open our mouth and to talk, and just sort of flows out, right? The words just kind of flow out. We have to know every single word is so important, and especially when we make words like that, where we accept upon ourselves certain things. We have to know that it's a reality. It's not just a words that go into the air, but it's a reality. It creates reality. If we take something upon ourselves, like I did, to take my wife's usurp upon myself, then they actually do, or at least they can, go upon us. And that's why we have to be so careful with the words that we say. We find in the Gemara there were certain chachamim, right, that cursed people, and we can even go back. We go back to Yaakov Avinu. Yaakov Avinu said, right, whoever took those trophim, they should pass. They shouldn't make it through. They shouldn't live. And in fact, his dear wife Rachel died as a result of that curse. Right? Yaakov Avinu was much more careful when he saw the money had come back to his sack. He said maybe they made a mistake. He no longer made these definitive statements after he learned the power of words from what he said about Rachel and how it was fulfilled. We have to be so careful with our words. If we want to be healthy, we have to really watch the way we speak and be very cognizant of every single thing we say, because our words have so much effect. The Zohar, the Chavetz Chaim, the Shemir Slash bring from the Zohar, when we say words, they go up to Shemayim, and then they come back down. The very same things that we say, that we send up to our speech, it comes back down to us again. And therefore, if we say words lishna bisha, we say words that are not proper words that we should be saying, so it'll come back down to haunt us, and we'll have very difficult and challenging situations. But if our words are filled with positivity and filled with hope and inspiration, then we'll have really, really good things in our life. And this is what Rav Segal taught me, right? That how, since by Shiva, just watching Rav Segal, Menachem, the Ovel, and it was an arts. I was able to get into the very, very inner sense of this Ovel and to pick up his spirits. Pick up his spirits. Rav Segal said by the Levaya of Chaim Kreisworth, the Rav from Antwerp, just finished in Harno for Shul. It is in his memory on Agassi Street, and he said Moshe, he was talking about Moshe Rabbeinu, was the Parsha Shmos, that he was Nifter. So Moshe Rabbeinu knew, who understood how to understand Yiddish krechs. When a Jew sighs, he understood what you do. And this is really a true godless of a person. You can really connect to somebody and give them life, give them support, give them hope, give them the feeling that everything will be all right, and it will be. To the degree that we feel strong amuna in the Bari Olam, that is how much the Bari Olam will enter our life and be connected with our life, and will become a very part of our life. So these are things that we really have to, it's a mitzvah lefarsem, right? How much dibur plays, how much our speech plays a role in our health, right? In fact, the Mishnah says, Lo matzasi leguf tov mishtika. The best thing you could do for your body is to be quiet, right? And there's a number of reasons for that. Number one is when a person talks too much, he's a blabbermouth, like myself, right? You get people upset. When people get you upset, so then you're gonna have arguments and disputes. And it's not good for your system, for your hormone system. Getting upset, it's really really bad. That's number one. That's on a pragmatic level, right? But on a more existential level, right, is that when a person is careful about what they speak, right, and lashon hara, as we said previously from the shloah, it creates a reality, it creates a sickness. Even though we don't have the physical sickness today, you won't find your hands are green and coming to the kohen for that. Hopefully, right, unless you've been sitting in moldy places, you won't find their hands are covered with leprosy. But says the shloah, and I heard this many many times from Sternbach, it's all there inside of you, inside of your being, is um, the leprosy, is the tzaras, and we have to be careful, right? Because every time we speak words of lashon hara, so there's more and more and more tzaras, and even though we don't see it, we don't notice it, but it's there doing its thing. And the big downside today is that we don't have korbanos, we don't have a process to get rid of that tzaras. The only thing we can do is tshuva. So let's remember these critical words of Segal, how important it is to be so careful about our speech, not to curse others, and not to say things upon ourselves which we call difficulty in our lives, like I myself did. And if we do this, we should have the greatest siyata d'shmaya. Should see Hashem, Kol, Sad, Shol, Amen.